So yesterday we have seen this if statement, right? So here we are taking a values from the console. When the program is running dynamically, we are taking the values, right? So that value, first value we are going to store in a variable A, and the second value we are taking and that we are going to store in B, and we are comparing, and here we are testing the condition. We are using if condition. So if you have to give the space, then specify the condition, what condition you want to test it. So here I want to test whether A is greater than B. Okay, so after giving the condition, you have to mention colon, right? Colon. Then if you press enter, directly it will come to here. The cursor will come to here. So it will automatically take 4 spaces. So this is called indenting. And whatever the statements you want to write under this if block, you should mention, you should write after 4 spaces, right? So and here these two statements are written by giving 4 spaces, and after that this print statement I have written without any space. So that means this does not comes under if statement, right? So when the condition is satisfied, only these two statements will be executed, right? So now if you run the program, it will ask for entering the two numbers. So enter the value of A, yes 10, and value of B, I'm entering 20. So this is out of if statement, right? Because A and B is compared, but A value, there we have written the condition is A greater than B. If A greater than B, then only the two statements which we have written in if statement will be executed. Since here A value is 10, which is less than 20, the condition is not satisfying. So the two statements which are written in the if block is not going to execute. Okay. So if you give A value greater than B, then these two statements will be executed. Okay. And this statement is always executed because this is nowhere in relation with this particular if block, right? This is a part of the program, right? So now here we are testing. Okay, now if A is greater than B, then only this condition is satisfying this block. That means we are getting printed A is greater than B, right? So if this condition is not satisfied, that means A is less than B. Now that also I want to make print. I want to print it. That also I want to print it. So for that we have to use if this condition is satisfied, this will be executed. Then else part we have to put. So if this condition is not satisfied, the else block will be executed. Let us see the else block. If else, okay, here we are doing same thing. Now here I am comparing whether A is less than B. If A is less than B, this statement will be executed. Here we have written only one statement for this particular if block. Okay, and for else block we have written another statement. So this is the, now this is part of this else block, because so after colon if we give enter, automatically it will take indenting. That means 4 spaces it will take. So whatever the statements you have entered after 4 spaces, so that will be considered as the block of that particular statement, whether if it is if or else. Okay. So now if you execute this, first what it will ask? It will ask to enter the A value, then it will ask to enter the B value. If I enter A less than B, this condition is satisfied, so this print statement is executed. Okay. If I enter A is greater than B, right, this condition won't be satisfied, so this won't be executed. So this block will be executed, else block will be executed. So either if or else, any one of the block will be executed based on the condition, right? So now let me execute that. So I'm entering here A value is 10, B value is 20. So A is less than B, the condition is satisfied. So the first if block condition is satisfied, right? So it will be executed, right? Which block will be executed? If block will be executed. A is less than B. Okay. Again I will run it. Wait. Again I will run the module. Okay. Again I'm running. Now this time I'm entering A equal to 20, B equal to 10. right? So in the if block, we have written the condition as A less than B, right? But here A value is not less than B, so the condition is not satisfied. So the condition is not satisfied, the specified if block won't be executed. Whatever the statements which we have mentioned in the if block, those are won't be executed. Okay. So then it will come to the, if that is not going to execute, it will come to else block. Okay. So now B is less than A. So this we have written in or else block now. You can see here B is less than A. So अभी ये condition satisfy हुआ तो a particular statement execute होता. Simple, right? So if मैं एक condition mention करता ना, वो condition satisfy है तो corresponding block of statements execute होता. नहीं तो else block execute होता. But at a time for a given value of the variables, so either if block will be executed or else block will be executed. It is not possible to execute both the blocks, right? Any doubts here? So this is what we have discussed till yesterday, right? Okay, sir, I want to include that if possible after completion of topic, conduct exam also. If you give some to solve also. Okay, so that we will see. And if is not need. No, not required. Here we are closing when we are closing the if block. So if you want to close the if block, you just come out from the indenting. That means don't give 4 spaces. That's all. If you are in indenting, that means if you are writing the statements in statements with 4 spaces, so all the statements will be counted under the corresponding if block. If you come out from the indenting, that block, so now this is indenting. The cursor is automatically coming here. No, I don't want to write further statements in if. You come back, just come back. That's all. That if is automatically closed. Right? That's the reason Python is very easy compared to the other languages, because in C, C++, Java, or in another programming language also, we have to open the bracket, we have to close the bracket. All those things will be there. If the value of A and B is equal, then it will execute. Yes, of course, here I have written one sample condition. If you want to test it at equal, you can make it. Okay. So if for example, if I give the 2 values are equal, 10 and 10, so this condition won't be satisfied now, then obviously it will execute this block only. So if you want, I'll execute and show you. Because since here we are testing only less than value, if you give 10 in A and B also 10, 10 is not less than 10, the condition is not satisfied. When the condition is not satisfied, we will come to else block. Okay. Again in the else block, we have to take care. Of course, that we will see the next program. That is what our next program. Okay. Right. So then nested if. How to write nested if? Nested if means writing of if statement in another if statement. Okay. Right. So here I'm taking one number, enter your number. I'm taking input from where it is. I'm taking input from console. That means dynamically I'm taking the input. When I'm going to execute the program will ask me to enter the number, enter your number here. So that number will be converted into the integer, because generally that numbers what we are entering from the keyboard will be considered as string, right? So that we need to convert into the integer by using the int function. So already this we have discussed in typecasting. Okay, the number will be converted into the integer, and that number will be stored in the variable called my underscore number. Okay, so now what I am doing is, first of all, I am checking if my condition is my underscore number. That means whatever the number I got, whether that number is greater than or equal to 0 or not. Okay, greater than or equal to 0 or not. Okay, so if it is greater than or equal to 0, again there is a two chances, whether it is 0 or positive number, right? So okay, now I have come here, and again here I'm writing. Again here I'm writing, if my underscore number is equal to 0. Here this condition will check only whether the number is greater than or equal to 0. Right? If the number is 0, condition is satisfied. If the number is 10 also, this condition will be satisfied. Right? So once this condition is satisfied, whatever the statements which are written in the if. Now these are the statements which we have written in the if block. Now why how we can say these are the statements which are written in the if statement? Because for these statements we have given four spaces. That means indenting we have given. So whatever the indenting we have given, so that block will be comes under this particular if statement, right? Now here, after coming here, again I'm checking whether the number is really 0. If my underscore number is equal to 0, yes. If it is 0, then what I am doing, print your number is 0. If the number is non-zero, that means if this condition is not satisfied, means the number is non-zero. So if this condition is not satisfied, in else block, what we are writing, your number is positive number. Okay, right? So okay, now first of all, whatever the number I gave, negative number. Negative number means that is not greater than or equal to 0 na? So this condition won't be satisfied. If this condition is not satisfied, it will come to directly else block. So what is the else? In else what we are doing, your number is negative number. We are printing your number is negative number. Okay, so now run the module. Okay, so here I'll enter 20 plus 20. Can you expect what will be the answer? Your number will be positive number. Okay, again I'll run same program. I'll run same program. I open multiple programs. Okay. Let me close everyone. Okay. So now again I'm going to run this program. So enter your number. This time I'm entering 0. So answer will be your number is 0. Okay. Again I will run the program, and this time I will enter negative number minus 12. Your number is negative number. Okay. Hope it is clear. Command prompt is not visible. Okay, got it. So share the screen. I have shared. No? I have shared the screen. No? Okay. Okay. Again, I will execute. Don't worry. Right? See, now everyone able to see this, right? Shell, Python shell, right? So here I'm entering now. Now I'm entering 0 here. So if you enter 0 as per the program, the answer will be your number is 0. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll go back to program. Again I will run. Okay. Now again I'll enter. Now this time I will enter negative number minus 10. So what should be the answer? It should be your number is negative. Okay. So if you enter positive number, you'll get the answer as your number is positive number, right? Now I'll run again. Now this time I'm entering positive number plus 20. Okay, your number is positive number. Okay, so this is the way to write the multiple, if statement in another if. So this is called nested if. If in one if is called as nested if, right? So I hope it is clear now. Yeah. Right. Now let us see another thing. Else if, right? If, else if, elif. Here we will call it as elif. So I'll open the program. Right. Right. Now what we are doing here. So previous thing is we have written the if condition in one if block, right? So now here again I'm taking the number, test your number. Okay, of course here the output is the functionality is same, right? But we are writing it different way. So we are taking the number. So that number we are converting it into the integer, of course, because whatever we are entering from the keyboard that will be in the form of string. So we are converting it into the integer. Now after that I'm testing if the given number is greater than 0. If the given number is greater than 0. Okay. So what does it mean? If the given number is greater than 0 means it is a positive number. So I'm printing entered number is positive. So I'm printing entered number is positive. Okay. If this condition is not satisfied, else if this if means it is else if. That means if this condition is not satisfied, it will come to elif block. Okay. So previously we have seen if and else. So in the else we are not going to mention any condition. But if you want to mention some condition in else block also, then you have to use elif, not else. Right? If you write simple else, we don't have any provision to mention the condition. So if you want to mention condition in your else block also, then you have to use elif. That means else if, again I'm testing the condition. If the number is less than 0, here we are testing whether the number is greater than 0, positive. If the number is less than 0, if this condition is satisfied means, what does it mean? It is a negative number. So I'm printing here entered number is negative. Okay. Then, okay, it is not greater than 0, it is not less than 0. That means, what is the meaning of it? It must be 0. Right? It is not greater than 0, not less than 0. So the only one option is, only one choice is, then one possibility is, that is, it must be equal to 0. Okay. So then I'm printing entered number is 0. Right? So of course, when you are doing practice, you don't do only these programs. You have to do on one particular concept. If you have to execute some 3-4 programs, right? So again, else if else, nested if, elif. So on each and every concept, you must execute some 3 to 4 programs. Then only you will get some idea. Means that will be like you will understand. And tomorrow, if you want to write any if condition, easily you can write. If you execute only my program, of course, here I can't discuss some 4 or 5 programs per single concept, right? Because it is time wasting. But when you are doing practice, you must do that. Okay. Now, if I execute that, so test your number. I'm entering minus 19. So answer will be entered number is negative. So since I have entered minus 19 here, so minus 19 is gets stored in the number. So this condition won't be satisfied because our number is not greater than 0. This condition won't be satisfied. So if this is not satisfied, it will come to else. Again here we are testing one more condition. Enter number is less than 0. Yes, my enter number is minus 19, which is less than 0. So this print statement will be executed and we'll get this one is printed. Since it is executed, since this block is executed, so this block won't be executed. Out of 3 blocks here, at a time, only 1 block will be executed. If this condition is also not satisfied, means this condition will be executed. When this else last else block is executed, if the given 2 conditions are not satisfied, then only this else block will be executed. When this statement will be, when this is executed, if this given first condition is not satisfied, then only the cursor will come here. If this is also not satisfied, it will come here. Okay. So this is about conditional statements in Python. So any doubts? Okay, no doubts, fine. Right. Right. So if it is clear now. So now let us go back to our PPT. 1 minute. So let us go back to PPT. Okay. Then Python loops. Okay. So when that conditional statement will be used, if you want to make any decision based on some condition, the condition statement will be used. But another concept called loop, the loops, that means I want to repeat the functionality continuously for some without sign value enter kareto. So that is without sign value means it will be treated as positive number only. If you enter sign, then only it will be taken as negative. Okay, right. So loops. Loop means if you want to repeat certain functionality by two times or 3 times or some 5 times or 10 times, then we need to use the concept of loop. We'll put that particular block of statements what you want to repeat. So those block of statements will keep in the loops. Okay, of course manually also you can repeat. That means you can write the same code multiple times. Okay, if you write like that, the size of the program will increase and the memory for saving that program is also increases. To avoid that, we will write only once, and how many times you want, we will repeat that particular code by the number of times. Okay, so for that we have here two loops here, while and for loop. In Python we have 2 loops, while and for loop. So let us go to while loop first. Let us have the discussion on while loop. Okay, fine. So this is our while loop. Okay, I'll comment out here. We'll see afterwards these things. First, let us discuss simple while. Right. So in the while loop, what you have to do is, of course, this is comment only, right? That means this is while loop. So now if you want to repeat some block of statements, what you have to do is, you have to initialize some variable. Here I am initializing a variable called I equal to 0, because this variable will act as a count variable, right? Okay. Now, how to write the while loop? You have to write while. You have to write while space, then mention the condition. Now here, initially, I have taken the value 0 into the I, right? Now here, what I am mentioning here, I less than or equal to 10, right? So generally, I'll show you the structure of while loop. Just a minute. So the structure of while loop will be, right? The while loop structure will be, so first what we have to do is, we have to initialize count. Okay, initialize count. So generally we will initialize to 0. Okay, then after that, write while and put condition here. Condition, right? Condition. Okay, then write. Okay, so after that, what we will do is, we will write our statements. What are all the statements you want to cover? What are all the code you want to cover in? That means code you want to repeat. Code you want to repeat. Okay. Whatever the code you want to repeat, that code we will write here. And after that, last, after writing the entire code you want to repeat, we will increment or decrement count. We will increment or decrement the count. So this is the structure of while loop. Okay. What we have to do is, we have to initialize it. We have to initialize, right? We have to initialize the thing. Then while, mention the condition, write the code, whatever the code you want to repeat by a number of times, that code you write here. Okay. Then last, after completion of that code, you either increment or decrement. If we start the count with 0, we will do increment. The start count with maximum value, we will do decrement. Okay. So of course, there is no difference in that. Okay. Just now, for example, I want to repeat this code by 10 times. What we will do? We will initialize the count as 0. Okay. Then the condition is I less than or equal to 9. Or we will start the count from 1, I less than or equal to 10. Okay. So that means first the condition will be checked. If this condition is satisfied, the code will be executed. This block of code will be executed. Then after executing this code, increment will happen. Then it will come again. It will check the condition. Okay. Then the code will be executed. Okay. Let us see our program. Okay. There you will understand clearly. So this is initialization and this is condition. Okay. And this is the block of statements I want to repeat. Only here I want to repeat print. Printing of 0 to 9. I want to print, or I want to print 0 to 10. Okay. And this is incrementing. Right. So incrementing. Already we have seen this in operators. No? That is mathematical operators. Arithmetic. Okay. So here, fine. Now here I am initializing. Here my job is, I want to print 0 to 10 on my screen. Okay. So for that, you no need to write print. Of course, without this also you can write. How you can write? Without this also you can write. How you can write? Take I equal to 0, print I. Then take I equal to 1, print I. So then take I equal to 2, print I. So this you have to repeat till the last. Na? How many numbers you want to print? Till you get that number, you have to repeat this particular functionality. Okay, code. But if you write like this, the size of the program will increase. That means you need to write for printing 11 0 to 10. So you have to write 22 lines of code. Okay, so to avoid that, we are using this while loop. So we are taking 0. So first, what it will do, the while loop will check the condition. What is the value of I now? 0. So whether 0 is less than or equal to 10, yes, the condition is satisfied. If the condition is satisfied, then only this block will be executed, right? So see, yes, initially the value is 0, 0 is less than 10, the condition is satisfied, the I value will be printed. What is the I value now? It is 0. 0 will be printed over the screen. After printing 0, again it will come here. So what we are doing here? I plus equals to. So already we have seen. What is the meaning of this? What is the meaning of this? I equal to I plus 1. Okay. That means I value is incremented by 1 and that value will be stored back into the I. Now what is the I value now? Previously it is 0. Now 1 is incremented. 0 plus 1 becomes 1. That 1 will be stored in the I. Right? So what is the new I value now? 1. So after completion of all the statements in that particular while block, again it will come to the condition and it will check the condition. Okay. So once the Python virtual machine finishes its block of statements in that while loop, again it will come to the while loop and test the condition. Now new I value is 1. Whether 1 is less than or equal to 10, yes, still 1 is less than or equal to 10. Again the condition is satisfied. Again it will execute print. So that means this time it will print 1. Now because now the I value is 1, so it will print 1. Then again I value is incremented. Now with this I value becomes 2. So again it will come here. Again while loop will, okay, it is the condition. Okay, 2, right? Now 2 is less than 10. Yes, still 2 is less than 10. Again the condition is satisfied. When the condition is satisfied, again the block of statements will be executed. So again print I. 2 will be printed. Then the I value is incremented by 1. Now the new I value is 3. So it will come to while. Again it will check the condition whether 3 is less than or equal to 10. Yes, still it is less than or equal to 10. Fine. Right? So this will be repeated continuously. Now if I value is 10, if I value is 10, again it will come here. Whether I is less than or equal to 10. It is not less than, but it is equal to 10. That means here two conditions we are checking every time. It may be less than or equal. Yes, it is equal. Again the condition is satisfied. The I value is printed. Then the I value is incremented. Now I value becomes 11. Now again it will come. Again while loop will ask. While keyword ask to check the condition. Now 11 is not less than 10, not equal to 10. So the condition is not satisfied. That means if the condition is false. Then it will come. It will come out from the while loop. So whenever the condition is satisfied, the block of statements will be executed continuously. Right? Okay. Now if you execute this, so I value is printing from 0 to 10. Right? We are printing from 0 to 10. Any doubt here? Right. Fine. Now let us go back to program. Okay. So this block we don't require. Right. Now here so while this is only simple while loop. Okay. Simple while loop. Simple while loop. Now while break. That means what is the keyword break? If you want to break the loop at any time, you can mention this keyword. If you write break na, irrespective of the corresponding count value, it will directly come out from that particular loop. Okay. So the meaning is, now here I am taking reverse, right? So in the previous example, I have taken 0 value. From 0 value, I am increasing and testing whether it has reached 0 or 10 or not. Now here I am doing reverse, right? So now initially I'm taking the j value as 10. Okay, j value as 10, and I'm testing whether the j value is greater than or equal to 0 or not, right? So now initially I've taken 10. Yes, 10 is greater than or equal to 0. Yes, the condition is satisfied. When the condition is satisfied, the value will be printed. We are printing print j. That means 10 will be printed. Okay, and here what I am doing is I want to print this functionality of this is I want to print from 10 to 5, 10 to 5 reverse, 10 9 8 7 6 5. After that I don't want to go further. Okay, after that I don't want to go further. Now so these two lines I will comment it out. Okay, now first let us examine this. So j value is 10 is greater than 0. Yes, j value is printed. Then what we are doing, we are decrementing j value. Now this time we are doing minus equal to. Minus equal to means what is the meaning of this? J equal to j minus 1. Okay, so 10 value, 10 will be decremented by 1. 10 minus 1, it will become 9. 9 will be stored in the j. What is the new value of j now? 9. Whether 9 is still greater than 0, greater than or equal to 0? Yes, then 9 will be printed. Again 9 will be decremented by 1, it becomes 8. So again 8 becomes greater than or equal to 0. Yes, so this keep on repeating. When j value becomes 0, still j is not greater than but equal to 0. If the condition is satisfied, 0 will be printed. Again if we decrease 1, it will become minus. So this condition won't be satisfied. Now if you execute this, I will comment out this. Okay, if you execute this, so what will be the answer? So it will print from 10 to 0. Previously we have printed from 0 to 10. Now this time we are printing 10 to 0. Okay, now I don't want to print 10 to 0. I want to stop printing after 5. This 4 3 2 1 0 I don't want to print. So after 5 I want to stop printing, even though the condition is up to 0, but I don't want to continue the condition till it becomes 0. Okay, so okay, right? So now here if you change, it is equal to 5, we can get that. Okay, but I don't want to do that. So I don't want to change the condition. Now I will use here if block and break. Okay, right. Now see here, so j value is 10. Okay, j is printed. It is keep on repeating. When j becomes 5, this condition is satisfied, 5 is printed. Now here we are testing whether the j value is equal to 5. Yes, now when the j value becomes 5, then only this condition will be true. This condition will become true. When this condition becomes true, we are executing, we are writing break under this if statement. This break will be executed only this if condition is satisfied. If this if condition is true, then only this break will be executed. So what the break will do is it will completely break the loop. It will come out from the loop. It won't decrement the value of j. Again it won't check the value of j. So when the break statement is executed, whatever the condition of the loop, it will come out from the loop completely. It won't go further, right? Okay, now see here. Now what will be the answer? So 10 will be printed, then 9 will be printed. 9 is not equal to 5. So this condition won't be satisfied. Then this break won't be executed. Yes, 9 value is decremented 8. So 8 will be printed. Again 8 is not equal to 5. This condition is not satisfied. Then it will repeat 6, 7, 6. Then when it becomes 5, 5 will be printed. For 5, this condition is satisfied. Then the break will be executed. When the break is executed, it will come out directly from the loop. Again it won't further decrement the value of j and it won't check the condition. Okay, see here. Okay, So it is printed from 10 to 5. It is printed from 10 to 5. Okay. Is it clear? Any doubts? No switch case. Okay. Right. Now let us go back to our program. So this is while and while with break. So that means if you want to break your loop, so of course you may be having the doubt why we need to break the loop, because in real time we don't know when will we get the output. For example, I'll tell you one example, and now we are asking the user. We have given some we have opened some window and we are asking the user to enter his phone number within 1 minute or within 10 seconds, right? Let us say 1 minute. Okay. So now if the user, that means what is the meaning of it? So once the window is open, we will wait for 1 minute. If the user enters phone number within the prescribed time, right? So then we will take it. After 1 minute, if he is not entered, then we will take it as a null value, right? Or in banking environment, we'll have this session expired. Okay, session. What will we do after login? So your session will be there for some 5 minutes. Okay, so there the timer will start counting. That means if you are not doing anything after login, if you are not doing anything, if you are not using any functionality, you are not pressing anywhere, so the timer will start counting the time, right? So it will count till 5 minutes. Till 5 minutes, if the user has not pressed any option, he has not given any input, then it will be taken as, it will sign out the corresponding account. It will be taken as the user is inactive, so the account will be signed out. This is for security reason. Okay. Now, for example, okay, 5 minutes I have given time. In the 5 minutes, after 3 minutes, he is entering some input. That means he is opening his account statement. Okay. So then, in that case, what happened? Actually, the timer is counting the time now. For that, we will write the loop. Right? So we will write some loop, whether it may be while loop or for loop. Right? We will write the loop. The loop is continuously executing the timer function so that it is counting the time. So after 3 minutes, he has given some input. So it will come out from the loop. Okay. So it will stop the timer and come out from the loop. So in that scenarios, we need to have the break statement. Okay. Right. So now let us discuss another example while continue. Okay. Continue while. So this while break, I'll comment it out. Why still it is in comment? Maybe. Okay. Right. Now here I'm taking the z value as 0. Okay. So why z is less than 10? Yes, 0 is less than 10. Okay. Now here what I'm going to do is I want to print from 0 to 9. I want to print from 0 to 9. But in that 0 to 9, I don't want to print 5 and 8. I want to skip printing of 5 and 8. Okay. So I want to print 0 to 9, but in that I want to skip 2 numbers from 0 to 9, that is 5 and 8 I want to skip. Okay. So for that, what we are doing here. So z equal to 0 I have taken. So z is less than 10, obviously, right? So this condition is initially it is satisfied since the z value is 0, z is less than 10. Then what we are doing, it will come to here. Then what we are doing here? We are incrementing the z value. What is the meaning of this? Z equal to z plus 1. We are incrementing the z value. That means now z value becomes 1. Okay, Z value becomes 1. So if whatever the values you want to skip, 5 and 8 you want to skip from 1 to 9, right? So 5 and 8 you want to skip. So you are testing. We are testing if Z equal to 5, whether the Z value is 5 or Z value is 8. So what is the use of R function? What is the use of R function? It will do the R operation between the two conditions. If any of the condition is true, then the entire if condition will be true. Okay. Why we are writing? I don't want to print 5 and I don't want to print 8. If 5 comes, I should not print. If 8 comes also, I should not print. Okay. So that's the reason I'm writing R here. If I write and, what happens here? If both the values are equal, if that means if value is 5 and value is 8, if both are true, then only the condition will be true. Okay. So here, okay, of course, if you want to, we'll execute that with AND operation afterwards, after seeing this program, right? Now here, since I don't want to print 5, so I'm putting one condition as 5. I'm testing whether the Z value is 5, and similarly, I don't want to print 8 also. So that's the reason I'm testing Z equal to 8 also. If any one of the condition is true, then the if condition becomes true. When if condition becomes true, it will come to the continue statement. Okay. So what the continue will do is, continue statement will skip whatever the statement which are written under the continue in that particular block will be skipped. So here continue statement will skip only the print statement. Again it will go to Z condition directly. Not like break. Break will completely come out from the loop, but continue will skip the instruction which are written under the continue and it will continue the loop. Okay. So here now initially Z equal to 0. Okay, Z 0 is less than 10. So Z value is incremented. Now new Z value is 1. So that 1 is not equal to 5, not equal to 8. So this condition is not satisfied. This condition is not satisfied means whatever the code which is written in this if block won't be executed. That means it will come to this statement. So that means 1 will be printed, right? So then again, after completion of all the statements in that particular while loop, it will go to the condition. So 1 is less than 10, yes. So now Z value is incremented 2. So 2 is not equal to 5, 2 not equal to 8. So this condition won't be satisfied. This block won't be executed. Again 2 will be printed. Then it will go 2 less than 10, yes. Now the value is incremented 3. So this condition is again not satisfied. 3 will be printed. Then 4 or 3. Then 4 will be printed. Then when it becomes 5, when the Z value is 5, this condition is satisfied. This condition is not satisfied. True or false means true. Entire condition becomes true. So this will execute. When the continue statement is executed, whatever the instructions, whatever the statements which are written under the continue statement will be skipped and it will go to the condition. So that means this print statement won't be printed. Directly it will go to the condition. Yes, 5 is less than 10. The 5 value is incremented now 6. So 6 is not equal to 5, not equal to 8. So this condition won't be satisfied again. So it will print 6. Then 7. Then when it becomes 8, again this is satisfied. So when this is satisfied, if condition becomes true, again the continue statement will be executed. When the continue statement is executed, again it will skip the print statement and it will go to the condition. Right? So then similarly for 9. When it becomes 10, 10 is not less than 10. So this condition won't be satisfied. Directly it will come out from the loop. Now let us execute this. See here, we are not getting 5 and 8. Okay. We are not getting 5 and 8. Clear? Any doubts? Yes? Yes, it will be skipped 5 and 8. Okay. Right, fine. Then the next one is, okay, fine. I hope it is clear now. While break and while continue. So the difference between break and continue is, continue will skip only the statements which are written under the continue statements for that particular iteration. Okay, but break, if a break is executed, completely it will come out from the loop. Okay. Right, fine. Now I'll show you one more example, this while and else. See here, while and else. So here we have the while loop and we have the else loop. When this else block is executed now, when the while block stopped executing, this else block will be executed. Okay, let us see that. So here I am taking k equal to 16, right? Here I am testing two conditions, whether the k value is 15, greater than 15 and less than 20. That means I want to print the numbers from 16 to 19. Okay, so 16 to 19. So for that, what I'm doing here, k value greater than 15. Yes, 16 is greater than 15 and it is less than 20. Yes, it is less than 20. Here, since I have written and this condition and this condition, both the conditions should be true. Then only the while condition becomes true. When the while condition becomes true, then this block will be executed. Okay, so here, yes, 16 is satisfying this condition and this condition. So when both the conditions are true, the entire while condition is true. Now I'm printing the value of k, that is 16 I'm printing. Now here what I'm doing, k equal to k plus 1 means k equal to k plus 1. So k value is incremented. Now it becomes 17, right? So 17. 17 means again it will test. Again it will test. So this 17, it is greater than 15 and it is less than 20. Again 17 will be printed. Now it becomes 18. Yes, both the conditions are satisfied, 18 will be printed. Then 19. Both the conditions are satisfied, 19 will be printed. Then it will become 20. So when it becomes 20, k is greater than 20. Yes, correct. But k is not less than 20. This is true and this is false. One is true and one is false. In between and is there. True, false means the entire while condition becomes false. When while condition becomes false, this block won't be executed. It will come simply out of the loop. What we are writing here? Else print. While condition is while condition not met. While condition not met. Okay. When the while condition is met, it might have executed this only. Right? When while condition is not met, that's the reason it came out from the while loop. Then we are writing there while condition is not met. Okay. So can you guess what will be the output? It will print 16 to 19. After that, it will print one string while condition is not met. Okay. Right. Now run the application. Okay, 16 to 19 and while condition is not met. Okay. Is it clear? Yes, that is multi-line comment. Single quote. Single quote na multi-line comment. Any doubts? Now it is 5 o'clock. Okay. Now we have to close our session. In place of or, we can use the symbol or. So that will give the that is only bitwise, na. This symbol is bitwise. We cannot use. If you are comparing two bits, that time you can use. But here we are not comparing bits. We are comparing the bytes. Okay, can you give please real-time example of while else? So real-time example means, now for example, when you are like same example you can take banking example. We are waiting for some 5 minutes. In 5 minutes the user has not entered. Then in the else block we will write the statement as you are not provided any input in 5 minutes. So your session is expired. You can write. Because the else block will be executed only if the while loop is not satisfied, no? When it comes out from while loop. Either you are breaking while loop or you are coming out from the while loop or because of condition is false. That is not a matter. When if you come out from while loop, else block will be executed. That's all. So there, whatever the acknowledgement message you want to print, that message you can write there. Okay, tomorrow also our class timing is from 4 to 5. So tomorrow we'll see for loop. Tomorrow we'll finish for loop, and after that we will move to the functions. Okay. Now from here after, you please try to attend regularly, because all important concepts will come. These functions, then after that this collection objects, then after that OOPS concepts. All these things are very important, because till now whatever the things we have discussed, these things will come in any programming language. But the OOPS concepts, all those things are very important for Python. Okay, thank you everyone. We'll meet tomorrow at 4 to 5. Rakesh is asking something in registration form, age decision between 18 to 22. That time we will use else condition. Okay, you can use. Of course, here this thing is only if you want to give any acknowledgement when the while loop is not executing, that time you can use the else condition. And exact solution for your question, Rakesh, so we'll come to know in the coming session, because when we are developing the GUIs, Windows applications, so there we will write different authentications. So that time you can write. Even you can test whether the enter value, whether he is entering integer value or not, string value or not. All the validations we can do that. Okay, thank you everyone. We'll meet tomorrow. Some Shashi is asking something now. Sir, please go back to program once. Okay. 1 minute. Okay. Okay, Shashi, tell me. Any doubt? And remember that you please execute at least some 3 to 4 programs for every concept. Then only that concept will be cleared. It will be fixed in your mind permanently. Otherwise, if you execute whatever the program I'm giving, so you will become a type master but not a programmer.